to my channel, or welcome back. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. If you are returning, you already know it. You are fabulous. All right, so today's video, we're going to be doing some more farmhouse. I'm super excited about these DIYs today. They turned out fantastic. So let's jump right in. Welcome everybody. Okay, so this first DIY, I actually have been wanting to make for a long time. So I'm super excited about this one. I can't wait for y'all to see how this turns out. All right, so I've got these frames from the Dollar Tree. I've also got some of these stretched canvases from the Dollar Tree. These are the 5x7 size. I've also got more frames from the Dollar Tree, 5x7s in those. I've got a tray that I got from the Dollar Tree. I've also got some reindeer moss. And then I have got some succulents. Look at how beautiful these succulents are, y'all. They're so pretty. I mean, like, the video doesn't do them any justice, and they were $2 a piece at Big Lots. They're probably 3 times the size of the ones from the Dollar Tree. $2. Yeah. Okay, so first thing I did was take the frames apart. I completely undid them, took all the stuff off. Then I took the canvases and took everything off of those. I just strictly wanted the frame part. That's all I was going to be using. So I just used my knife, cut it, ripped it off, went through, picked out whatever, staples that I needed to, whatever. I did take the little clips off of the picture frames, the clips that hold the backing on. I took all of those off. I'm then going to take one of those 5x7s and attach it to the side of this 8x10. Now, how this fits exactly perfect, I'm not sure, because obviously one is an 8x10 and one is a 5x7. So I guess they're a little off or something, but it worked out perfect. I mean, it literally was exactly the right size. So, and the only way I knew that was because I tried these out in Dollar Tree, like stacked them up. Yeah, I get out on the floor, the whole 9 yards, y'all. Just go at it right there in the Dollar Tree. All right, so added the other one to the other side. We're building like more or less a box is what we're doing. And as I would add them, I would then go back in and add a little bit more hot glue to the inside portion so that it would, just be a little more stable. Obviously, you can see there with this one, it was a hot mess, but this turns out so stinking cute, y'all. I just love it. Okay, I then took my frame that I had going on here. I added hot glue to the ends of both of those 5x7s, and then I'm going to take the other 8x10 and place it right on top of there. Really didn't have that much hot glue like seeping out. It worked out pretty good. I would just kind of scrape it off with my finger if I did have any, but wasn't too bad. I just didn't, glob it on. All right, I've then got some of these wood dowels from the Crafter's Square at Dollar Tree. I'm going to take those. We're going to place those on the frame, see how long I need it to be. I'm going to take my miter shears. And now, these miter shears come from Amazon. I'll have a link in the description box for them. But I just kind of took a pen, marked this off right where I needed to cut it. If my marker would work, but things happen. All right, so I got it marked off. I'm then going to take and mark off the rest of the dowels that I'm going to be using because I need 3 of them. I'm just going to line those up, make sure I've got those nice and even. Line them up, draw my line right across there. And then we're going to take the miter shears and cut. Now, these are the miter shears I'm talking about. Okay, here's the deal. Like with these dowels, they're small dowels. It cuts like butter. I mean, it just like pop and snaps them in. It's done, okay? But if you go to cutting like paint sticks or, a thicker dowel than this right here, these miter shears are super hard for me to use. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like the strength in my hands or what, but they're not that easy to use. I'm not going to lie to y'all about it. I mean, I'm not going to promote something, you know what I mean? But anyways, there's pros and cons. Let's just put it that way. There's good things and there's bad things about the miter shears. All right. So I'm then taking the other 5x7 frames that we got that had the canvases on them. I'm going to glue 2 together. We got 4 of them. So we're actually going to glue 2 together twice. We're making the roof of our little house here, what we're doing. a terrarium. That's what we're making, y'all. Ain't that cool? Oh my goodness, I just love this thing. I so love it. I've been wanting to do this for so long. All right, now, I'm taking one of those dowels. I'm just adding a bead of hot glue right down the dowel. Trying not to burn myself, yeah. I took that dowel and added it to the very edge of that 5x7. I needed something that was going to kind of, I don't know how to explain it, just kind of hook up underneath there. And that way that when we add those double 5x7s, that way it would have something to glue to. You'll see what I'm talking about when we do it. All right, so on the other side, I decided it might be better to just add the glue to the frame. Duh, hello. I should have done that the first time. Not burned my fingers. Anyways, added my dowel. See, now I've got something for that 5x7 to kind of sit on, because it's going to be cockeyed anyways. You know what I mean? It's going to have part of the back end of it not touching anything. So I just added hot glue directly to the dowel. I did kind of glob it on when I was doing this, because I wanted it to kind of run down and be on that bottom ledge also. And then I just took those double 5x7s and added those. I did this at the same time because I wanted to make sure that I had them perfectly even and that everything was going to line up just right. So I thought it would be best to, glue them at the same time. We're also going to take a dowel and add it directly to the middle of this. Now, this one is a little bit bigger. I decided to use a different one. It was a little thicker, and that little place there was wider than what I thought it was going to be. So I did get a thicker dowel, and these just come from Walmart in a pack. I think they're like $2.97 maybe, but I just lined it up, cut it off, glued it down. Now, I've got my elephant chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm just going to paint this entire piece with my chalk paint. In, out, nook, cranny, you name it, it got painted. All of this piece. I just literally went through and made sure that I had all of it. Didn't want to miss anything. I wish that I had maybe painted all the frames before I put it together. It probably would have been a little bit easier. I mean, it wasn't hard to paint this, but instead of having to try to get up underneath there and that kind of stuff, I could have actually painted the frames first, but that's besides the point. Okay, now I've got a chip brush and some white chalk paint by Waverly, and I am just dry brushing this, and look at how beautifully this dry brush is. So pretty. Oh my goodness. I'm just in love with this. I love using the elephant gray and then putting the white over the top of it. I just think it is such a gorgeous color. It just turns out, oh, it's so pretty. So I just did this to the whole piece, inside out, you name it. All right, now, those succulents, the stem would pull just right out, and they actually wouldn't fall apart, because you know how like the Dollar Tree ones, if you accidentally pull the stem out, the whole thing falls apart. Well, these succulents weren't like that. So I just pulled the stem off, and I actually kept those stems just in case I want to, put this somewhere else or use those succulents somewhere else. But I took my little tray. Now, I painted that tray with some Waverly Antique Wax. I don't know where that portion of the video went. Actually, it just now dawned on me that we never saw that, did we? Anyways, all I did was paint it with the antique wax, and that was it. I just wanted it to, have a simple look, not really take away from anything, but, I thought it looked good like that. So I took off the moss that was, not stuck good, and added some more hot glue to the top of it, and then added that moss back down. That's what you just saw me do, because this is going to be in my living room, and I really don't want that reindeer moss everywhere. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But I just added in my succulents, and that's all we did to this. I added this to the inside of the terrarium. And this is so stinking pretty. I love it. Before we go any further, I would like to give a huge thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so Skillshare is an online learning community that offers thousands of online classes that are built perfectly for your everyday real life. So whether you are wanting to brush up on some techniques for something that you already do, or maybe you are wanting to actually learn something new, I mean, why not? It is the perfect time to learn something new. Then Skillshare is the perfect place for you. They offer classes on photography, crafting, video production, cooking, you name it. They've got a class for it. I'm telling y'all, seriously. I'm actually taking the hand lettering classes and I love it. I love that I can do it at my convenience on my schedule. I also love that I'm doing something for me, something that I can be proud of. So y'all be sure and go check them out, because for my first 1,000 subscribers, they are offering a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. After that, it's only like $10 a month for you to continue to take these classes. So it is a win-win all the way around. You will learn something new and be a part of a community. I mean, this is just perfect, especially for right now, this day and time. The world is just yucky that we're in. So go take a class, enjoy yourself, encourage yourself, be around others that are going to encourage you. But definitely check this out, y'all. All right. DIY number 2. So for this one, I have got 6 of these frames from the Dollar Tree. They're the 3.5 by 5s. They've got the little detail on the front that I think is so stinking cute. Like, it just sets them apart. You know what I mean? It just makes them that much cuter. Okay, I've got stickers that came from Walmart. And then I've also got a sign that came from the Dollar Tree, but they have these all the time. Now, that one was from the fall, but they have that size frame, you know, in different seasons all the time. So the first thing I did was take all the backs off of the frames and check these out. Like, you could use these and make a windmill. That was the first thing that came to my mind. So save those if you do this project. Now, it ended up taking out all of the pieces of the frame. Like, I took them completely apart, took the glass out, the paper, you know, whatnot. Now, I have got some scrapbook paper that came from Hobby Lobby, and I just laid the back on the back of the page of my scrapbook paper, and then took a pen and traced it out. And I actually traced it out 6 times. That way, when I got ready to cut, and I apologize, my head's in the way a couple times here, but I was trying to make sure that I got it perfectly even. So we're going to be covering the back of that, or the front of that piece, with this scrapbook paper. So I just cut it out with my scissors. Super simple, y'all. Super simple. Now, I'm taking the Aleene's tacky glue that I have just absolutely fallen in love with here lately. I use it constantly now, but it's so good for certain projects, especially stuff like this, like where normally you would use Mod Podge. I've been using the tacky glue, and I think it works fantastic. It does not leave wrinkles. It does not leave bubbles, but it sticks. You know what I mean? Your project's going to stick together. It's going to stay together, and you don't have to worry about the bubbles or the creases or anything like that. I mean, it really works great. So I just covered each of those pieces, just painted on. I'm then going to take Waverly's Antique Wax and also some black chalkboard paint, mix those together in a little bowl here. And y'all, check out my little bowl. Is that not the cutest? It's called brownware. I actually have every piece of this brownware. Not every piece, but you know what I mean. Like a huge, huge selection of these. My aunt, who's very special to me, she actually went to an estate sale and was able to find pretty much everything you can think of in this particular collection. So if you've ever seen that brownware before, let me know in the comments, because that's an older set of dishes and stuff that I have there, and I think it's really cool. Now, I painted each of those frames with this mixture, and as you saw there, I added water with it, so we're making like a stain. Cleans up very easily. I then take the stickers, and we're going to spell out the word gather. So I just placed these stickers right in the middle of that piece, and what we're doing is using that back, the part that we put the scrapbook paper on. So I just lined these up and made sure that I was keeping them straight. Now, like that A, the sticker was a little long, so all I did was take my box cutter and just simply slice it off right there at the end, picked it off, and you cannot tell that the sticker was ever too long. So just do that. Like some of them are a little too long. This T, matter of fact, I think it was the H maybe. Another one of them that I had to actually cut off. It was the H. But anyways, like I said, just lined them up, spelt out the word gather. This is so stinking cute, y'all. And I gave this to my sister-in-law, so I hope that she enjoys it. Now, I went back and decided that I wanted to dry brush these frames. They were very cute the way they were. The color came out great, but I just wanted them to look a little more distressed than what they were, so I decided to dry brush them, which would have been a lot easier had I done it when they weren't already put together. But hey, whatever. It's just crafting. It's not a big deal. I took a baby wipe and wiped off where I'd gotten any kind of paint on the glass. So it's super simple, like no big deal, I promise. But like I said, I just dry brushed each of these. I really wanted to give it that distressed look. And so I just used my white Waverly chalk paint and a chip brush. Just went through and distressed each one of them. Now, for the back of this, I have got that board or that sign that came from the Dollar Tree. I'm taking some wood glue. It's Gorilla wood glue. And I'm just painting it directly in the middle of that board. As you can see there, I'm leaving the top and the bottom empty. And that is because we're going to be using hot glue. And you don't want to mix the hot glue and the wood glue because that just turns into a hot mess, okay? So definitely try to not mix the two. I took my hot glue and added it directly to the middle on the top and the bottom, just pretty generous amount. I then took the T and the H, which is the middle of the word, and placed it directly down there. So that wood glue is going to hold in the middle, the hot glue is going to hold at the top and the bottom, and it's all just going to come together beautifully. Now, I ended up doing the same thing for the E and the R. This is super, super simple, y'all. Very, very simple. Added the hot glue. Now, as you can see here, the R is not going to fit just right on the board, but that's okay because I ended up putting popsicle sticks on the back of it to hold it in, and it stayed perfectly. Now, I'm adding the A and the G, and as you can see there, the G kind of hangs off a little bit. So like I said, just added a couple popsicle sticks, but that's all I did to this, and I think it is so stinking pretty. Like, for real cute. I really, really love this. Moving right along, DIY number 3. So for this one, I've got one of these trays from the Dollar Tree. I've also got some of these little vases that came from the Dollar General. And I love these because they've got like the hobnob look to them, the little dots all over them. Too stinking cute. I've also got some of these bean pot candle cups that came from Amazon. We're going to be using those as like legs for our tray. I took that mixture that we had mixed up before, the antique wax and the black chalkboard paint and water, and I just stained this tray. So I painted it on and then took a baby wipe and wiped it off. Now, excuse my hands, but I got it all over me. I then painted the vases white. I used my heat gun in between coats. I did give it 2 coats. There's a link in the description box for that heat gun. It's always there, y'all, because that heat gun is fabulous. Now, I'm taking a fingernail file from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going all around these vases. I wanted to really distress them. I got them really, really good. So, as you can see there, they're very distressed. I'm then taking those candle cups, and we're just going to flip those upside down and hot glue them straight to the bottom of our tray. So, we're giving it legs. It's going to be, lift it up, and it's so cute like that. This really, really turns out so stinking pretty, like for real, y'all. All right, so just added those to the bottom of my tray. We're going to flip it over. It looks so good. Perfect. All right, now I decided I wanted to add a little bit of, just a little something to the tray. So I added some hot glue, took some twine. Now that is Dollar Tree twine. And I just began to wrap it all the way around the handles on this tray. So very quickly here, I just wrap it, hot glue when I need to. Like at the end, I snipped it off, hot glued it, secured it into place, flip it around. I'm going to do the other side. It just gives the tray a little something extra, just a little something, make it stand out a little bit. I then decided, okay, so I've got the twine on the tray. I want the vases to match. So I wrapped the twine around the vases. I then took some buffalo check or gingham, whatever you want to call it, ribbon. I got this at Walmart, and I placed it around the vase, the neck of the vase, made a very small little shoestring bow, snipped it off, gave it the dovetails, did the same thing for the other three or the other two. So we got 3 vases all together, but super simple, just a very simple little shoestring bow, and then snip it off for your dovetails. I did this to all 3. They're so stinking cute, y'all. This would be so cute like in your kitchen window or anywhere, honestly. I've then got a set of these, I believe they're called ranunculus. Maybe I said that right. I don't know. Anyways, y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? So I just took my wire cutters and snipped those off, added those to my little set here. Y'all, this is beautiful. I mean, it really is such a cute little set, and it was so easy to make. Like, this might have taken me, paint drying time and all, about 20 minutes to make this whole thing. It is so pretty. Look at that. Oh, I love it. Okay, and for our final project, and probably the easiest DIY that we have today, here's DIY number 4. I've got 2 of these stretch canvases from Five Below, so $5 for 2 of those. It's a great price. I've got a placemat that came from the Dollar General. It was $1. I am first going to take, I'm just using one of those canvases, but I've got my box cutter, and I'm going just as close to those staples as I can get all the way around this canvas. Really cutting it good, but like I said, just as close to the staples as I can get. I then peel the canvas off. So simple. Look at how easily that came off. I'm going to smooth it out. I pulled the rest of the canvas off of the back of that frame. Now, you can go through and pull out all of the staples if you'd like to, but I didn't see any reason in it. We're going to be flipping this over and putting it back down, so you're not going to see the back of it at all. So really no reason to, worry with the staples. Now, once again, I'm taking that Aleene's tacky glue, and I'm just adding a generous amount straight to the canvas. Y'all, this stuff works so well, I'm telling you. It's super sticky, yet it's very pliable. You can still, move your project around a little bit. If you place it in the wrong spot, you can pick it up, move it around, whatever. But it is super sticky. And once it dries, it's done. It is stuck. It's very well, secure. But it's not wet like Mod Podge, so you don't have to worry about the wrinkles or the creases or the whatnot. So works out perfect. I love this glue. I've been using it for a while now, and I really like it for different projects. But as you'll see here in just a minute, I got this a little too high, so I was able to slide it down. Like I said, it's sticky, but it's still pliable. I'm going to take that frame and put it right on top.
So what I did with the frame was take some of that stain that we had mixed up, and I just went all the way around this frame. Now, y'all know I like to keep my stuff a little cohesive, so that's why we're using that same stain. I wanted it all to kind of go together, and I wiped it back off with a baby wipe. I'm then going to take that frame. Now, I couldn't get it to stay in place so I could flip it over, so I just added some hot glue to the very corners of the frame and then placed it directly down, and I was able to, you know, keep it in place so that I would be able to flip it over and add my staples. So the hot glue came in handy for sure. I just stapled this all the way across the back, all the way around it. I'm then going to take a box cutter and a, well, I can't think. Yeah, from Dollar Tree, a cutting mat from the Dollar Tree. Good Lord, y'all, I couldn't think of that for nothing. Anyways, and we're just going to cut off the excess. This was so easy to do, so simple, so simple, and super duper cute. Now, I sent this home with my sister-in-law as well, and I think she really loves it. I've got some more of that ribbon, and I'm just going to make a simple bow here. Now, what I'm doing is making a loop and then twisting. Making a loop, twisting. Go into the next side, you make a loop, twist, make another loop. Very easy to do. I learned how to do this at the florist shop. I cut off a little excess ribbon. I'm then going to tie that right around the middle of my loops that I just made. This is really a cute bow, and it's very simple to make. You can make as many loops as you want. At the florist shop, we tend to use just like 3 on each side, so 6 loops all together. So that's the way I did this, but I did tie a double knot in the middle, and then you're going to fluff out your loops. Make sure that it's going to fit just right on my spot there, because I wanted to add something to this. I wanted it to have that kind of 3D effect, I guess you would say, and just make it match the rest of my set that I have going on here. So I just snipped it off, like dovetailed the ends. I'm then going to take some hot glue, add that to the back of my bow, and then just place it directly in the middle of that wreath. And how stinking cute is this? Seriously, y'all. And now for the final reveal. I hope that y'all have enjoyed these. All right, y'all, that was it. What did you think? Okay, let me know in the comments what you thought, what's your favorite.
Maybe let me know even what you might want to see next time, okay? How about that? All right, now, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It definitely helps my channel. Don't forget to share this with your friends and family, and subscribe, please. That would be awesome. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you will know each time I upload a new video. I am so tongue-tied right now. Anyways, y'all have a blessed day, and thank you so much for watching.